Welcome back. Today I have a cider from one of my all-time favorite cideries, Ash and Elm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I've got an interesting one today. It's the Hop Flower Blueberry cider. Now I've known about Ash and Elm for years at this point, and they consistently just put out amazing ciders month after month, year after year, with just incredible consistency and always putting out unique flavor combinations, things that I would have never thought of before, as well as their standard repertoire. With this cider today, there's a couple things that I'm paying special attention to. First of all, the hop flower. I do have a soft spot for hopped ciders. I think that sometimes it really just helps balance out the natural sweetness of a cider and adds a really interesting depth. Second, the Blueberry. Now, one thing that I'm not particularly partial to when it comes to ciders is berry flavored. I find that oftentimes that a berry flavored cider will end up relying a little bit too heavily on sweetness. That's one potential outcome. Another is that it kind of melds together into this ambiguous berry flavor where you can't really tell what berry is the flavoring. So when I see berry flavoring on a cider, I sometimes have a little bit of trepidation towards it. So in these cases, it's kind of on the cidery to prove me wrong and really have a standout flavor and have the flavors shine through that kind of muddled, uncertain berry flavor if you really want to stand out. Now, if there is one thing I know about Ash and Elm, is that they have an incredible base flavor. And what I mean by that is whether it's something about the way they brew, the apples they use, where they get their ingredients, whatever it might be, that the underlying kind of base flavor throughout all of their ciders is really consistently good. So when I get a cider from Ash and Elm, 9 times out of 10, I know what I'm getting into, and I know that regardless of the overtones and the flavoring and the extra additive ingredients, I'm going to still be getting something that tastes good as a base. Because of that, I'm confident that I'm going to at least enjoy this despite any other peripheral factors. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. I've gone ahead and poured it into my tasting glass. Let's give it a shot. As I expected, just on the premise of it being from Ash and Elm, the underlying base flavor is very good. They just put together a real nice, balanced, smooth cider, no matter what the additive flavor is. In this case, I do feel like the hop flavor is particularly mild. It kind of serves more to balance out the sweetness of the berry flavor in my mind, as opposed to being a focal point of the actual flavor, like some hoppy ciders that I've had before. Now, like I mentioned before with the berry flavored aspect, I do feel like this falls into that pattern, like many and most berry flavored ciders, I would say, in that really the only distinction that I could make is maybe since it has boysenberry in it, that is a little bit more of kind of that tart aspect as opposed to a sweeter berry that you might find. But even with that, because of the base and because of the way that it's so balanced, it still ends up being a really nice, sweet, but not too sweet berry cider with a little bit of some interesting notes because of the hop flower and because of the other additives that they have going on. So once again, Ash and Elm has delivered. This might not be the one that you find me reaching for first off the shelf, but I definitely wouldn't turn it down. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time for more unusual finds or my personal favorites. Cheers.